members. Welcome again to another exciting episode of the Family Moment Show. And today we are looking at sharing our stories as a strengthener to the family setting. How can sharing our story help the family to become stronger as the foundation of the society? And today we have with us here Mrs. Adekemi Ukeka. You're welcome on the show.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for coming. And also we have with us our faculty member, Mrs. Stella Eriamiatoe, who will also be adding her voice to today's conversation. You're welcome on.
Thank you.
All right. So, Mrs. Adekemi, when it comes to sharing our stories, especially family stories, do you think this has a way of building bonds and connection within family members? And if you think it can, who should take the first step of initiating this activity of story sharing? So what do you think?
Thank you very much, sir. I'll start by giving what is a family. A family is the smallest unit of the society. And then the main purpose of marriage is for companionship, it's for procreation, and it's for redemption. Now, looking at this topic, I see that it's that part of redemption that is trying to redeem family through telling our stories, trying to strengthen them, trying to redeem them back to where they're supposed to be by telling our stories. Now, let me all go straight to the point of telling stories of my upbringing. Then I will link it to my own immediate family. Now, growing up as from a family of 6, including my dad and my mom, it was there were such interesting times then. I remember vividly in the evenings how my daddy put us together. He would just call us. We're staying in Kogi State then, Ida, Benue State, precisely then. At the backyard, we have a very big backyard, and we sit there, we tell all of us, and start telling us stories. And such stories are the marvelous, like this Ogboju Ode ninu Igbo, Ogboju Ode ninu Igbo Irumole. So, by the time he tells us, we're talking of Kakoni Kumoekun, talks about Ajantala, talks about Akara Ogun, Imodoye, and all those stuff, and all the rest. And we'll just be, staring at him and looking. And these strengtheners in stories, they are also like bonds. They make us, they have like bonds in the family. I could remember vividly then also how my dad, there was one thing we do regularly, that was on a Sunday. Everybody will eat bread, egg, and tea. It was a family thing. On a Sunday, everybody stays together. And one other thing that was a strengthener then was my daddy does, he the one that cuts our fingernails, he barbs our hair, does all manner of things for us. He baits us. You understand? This is what we don't find now. These are things that we don't find now. My daddy takes the time to base every one of us. And that has been a bond that we have even till now. And that links me to my own immediate family that I have now. There was one thing my daddy tells us then also, I will not forget to say, he always said that he's always contented. You understand? He will tell us that, let me say, it's not me, that is, it takes them step by step. You understand? That is contentment.
So we'd love to hear from you. What do you think about telling family stories?
Telling family stories, keep our children, informed of their roots. Because, today the media has done a lot to the children of today that most times a lot of our children are forgetting their roots.
Yes.
Like mommy mentioned, I remember when we were growing up, my mom used to tell us stories, and some of the values we got were from those storytelling.
Yes.
They didn't have the time to teach us, go and read, go to the internet, go and Google. No, they transfer values from their stories. What they tell. And one thing about storytelling, it creates that family moment time.
Yes.
But nowadays, you see families seated, one is on iPhone, the other one is on iPod. You see them, they are all together,
yes,
but
apart.
But when we were coming, it wasn't like that. My mom would tell us story. I remember when she was telling us about the Biafran War, what happened, how they lost the other younger one, the life after, a lot of things, you see. Sometimes we'll be moved to tears. It creates this kind of compassion in us.
Yes.
You understand? That is what is lacking in today's society. So values are transferred, from parents to children through storytelling. Storytelling of hospitality. She tell us a story of how they were told to do certain things, and when they didn't do it, what happened. So they don't need to teach us much. Through storytelling, they transfer values to us. And they remind us of our roots.
Definitely.
Our roots. Nowadays, you have children. Some of them, when you speak to them in your local dialect, they'll be looking at you like, what are you saying? What are you saying? But there should be that time when we tell our stories, we are creating a bond. We keep reminding them where they are coming from. It's a good thing.
All right, thank you so much for those wonderful insights. So now the next question is, who should initiate this? Should it be the child can walk up to the parent and say, can you tell us how we got to this point?
All right. I think it depends on the family and it depends on the individuals. Like in my own home, I think I'm the one that initiates the story. You understand? Just to carry the family along, and everybody is united, because that is the moment that we have to share. The moment that everybody is together, where we can communicate, where we can have time out, where we can have family devotions. And these are the period that you can communicate. And also that moment is a moment of decision making, where a lot of us, when we sit down as a family, we could take decisions. Because that's one of the bonds that we should imbibe, taking decisions as a family. Children also will be part of what is happening, and no one is left behind in the family. So I do, and I think it's anybody could do it, especially if you are that type that is outspoken and wants to carry everybody along. I do that in my home anyway.
And I think we should use every opportunity available to do that. Sometimes when they come up, the child can just come up with a question.
Yes.
So they're just, inquisitive. Mommy, Daddy, how about this? We just use that opportunity
to chip in as much as we can.
Create that bond.
All right. Thank you so much. So we have been able to achieve that storytelling can help us to build compassion.
Yes, and bonds and transfer values. Yes.
It can also help us during decision
making. Yes, very important.
That are very, very important to individuals to living the essence of the family. Thank you so much for this wonderful insight. We'll be going on a short break, and after that, when we return, we'll be going into the magic box for your question. All right, welcome back from that short break, and now we are going straight to the magic box, and we want you, Ma, to open it, to pick up a question, and you hand it over to our faculty member.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Should I go ahead?
You can.
Okay. The question says, are there good experiences you would love to share being a part of a family? Experiences you would love to share?
Sure. Family, yes. One very, how would I put this now? One very scenario I would love to share very briefly is that being a Yoruba woman married to an Igbo man, it has been a lovely experience. Okay. Very lovely experience.
Interesting.
Yes. For the past 17 years, it has been a wonderful journey. And I must say, why it's interesting to me is that so many people believed that it's not going to work. It's a tribal marriages are just that's Yoruba, Igbo. So, and being also, as at that time, my parents are Muslim and then Christian. So there were so many differences but when I look back to this 17 years, it has been a wonderful journey. Honestly, it has been so gracious. It has been so wonderful. And those are the things. I don't know what other experience, but maybe a particular one, or all has been wonderful. All has been so wonderful. lost experiences. Yes.
Wow.
It has been a wonderful journey. It has been a wonderful journey. Blessed with 2 lovely kids. I've just seen the hand of God. I've seen the hand of God, and that's why, in conclusion, always believe whatever your belief system is, whatever you believe in, just hold on to it. Even when people think it's not going to work, but as long as you know it is God, the God factor, very important. Once it is God, it's going to work out. And that is what I have experienced.
Once it is God,
it's going to work out. Yes.
Back to the manual.
Yes.
The basis.
Yes, the basis. Yes.
The
foundation is always work out.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Is there anything you would love to add in just a minute?
Wow, it's been another fantastic edition, sharing our stories. In fact, I know we have lots of stories to share,
yes,
but my word is we should be intentional about it. We should create that time. Let it be a family moment. We should use every opportunity when driving, when doing school runs, at dinner, when they're having breakfast. We should use every opportunity to share, and we should be intentional about it. Yes, we should be intentional about it.
Thank you so much. Intentionality, it is very key. Thank you so much. So, going forward, we want you to just make a shout out to someone in your family and tell us why. Someone and why in 1 minute. Then you give us your parting words. What do you want the audience to take from this particular episode, telling our stories?
I would like to make a shout out to my husband.
Wow.
Joseph Ukeka. I would like to appreciate him for being a wonderful person, a wonderful father, a wonderful husband. He has been there for every one of us as a family, and I can only pray that God will continue to take him from one level of glory to another. My parting word here, just as Mama said, being intentional, very, very important. Being intentional, let it flow. It has to flow. It has to it's not something we do occasionally. It's something that has to flow. Just make it a way of life. You don't have to we are looking for a particular moment. Yes, that moment might not come. The moment might not come. So, but for you have to intentionally create it and make out time for the family.
Thank you so much. It's certain that you have so much to share, but this is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of the Family Movement Show, and we are confident that our audience out there have taken the message from here. Be intentional. Use every opportunity to share your family stories so that you can build that bond that will help us to live the essence of the family. Again, we want to say thank you so much for staying put. Bye.